Agi Faulkner versus Rob Cunningham. Our tale of the tape is presented by Crescent Tools.
And Sean, there's a lot right here. I mean, a 5-inch height advantage. You have a significant 8-inch reach advantage. But the main thing, I mean, you have a 50-pound weight advantage right there. I don't know how many stones it is. That's a lot. Rob Cunningham has the size, just everything from the tail to tape. He's a much bigger individual.
Rob Cunningham set for bout number 3 in BKFC. His 5th bout overall in the sport of bare knuckle. Cunningham has also had 2 pro MMA fights. Cunningham 2-0 in BKFC, his most recent victory this past April when he defeated Wayne Morgan by way of 2nd round TKO.
Sean, I really like this guy. We've met him and talked to him. He's just such a nice individual, but comes to fight every time. He seems like he's very smart, tactical the way he fights. He doesn't waste any energy, leans on people, uses that size. He's very smart the way he decides to come about attacking his opponent.
Into the ring comes Rob Cunningham. Agi Faulkner, 3-0 in the sport of bare knuckle fighting, 1-0 in pro MMA. Faulkner, promotionally 1-0 in BKFC. His bare knuckle fighting championship debut occurred November of last year. Agi Faulkner defeated Daniel Robson by way of 1st round knockout.
Sean, being the smaller individual, 50 pounds lighter, you have to use your mobility, your speed, your athleticism. That's what he's going to have to do in this fight. You can't fight the size and the power. You have to fight with speed, accuracy, go in there, try and use a lot of movement, wear your opponent down, land the big shots. You should be faster if you're that much.
Our 7th time in the United Kingdom for a bare knuckle fighting championship. We're in West Yorkshire at Planet Ice Leagues. To get our evening started, we send it to Ian the Machine Freeman.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live at the Planet Ice Arena for BKFC 55. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Leeds! Ladies and gentlemen, this is a BKFC bout presented by Bucked Up Energy Drink in the heavyweight division. Now let me introduce your fighter in the red corner. This fighter weighed in at 285.8 pounds. He has a BKFC record of 2 wins and no losses. Representing D-side Wales, please welcome Rob the Beast Cunningham. And now welcome his opponent in the blue corner. This fighter weighed in at 234.4 pounds. He has a BKFC record of 1 win with no losses. Representing Egmont from Cumbria, Agi Faulkner. And your referee for this bout is Dave Needham.
Great sportsmanship between these two very powerful and differently built heavyweights. Agi Faulkner weighing in at 234.4, Rob Cunningham weighing in at 285.8. Final words from referee Dave Needham. Both fighters being called back up to scratch. Round number one, immediate forward pressure for Rob Cunningham, the fighter from D-side North Wales. Black trunks, red hand wraps, black trunks, blue hand wraps for the Englishman Agi Faulkner. Now into the clinch, but the half tie plum seized by Cunningham.
Agi's got those hands down and his chin wide up, and he's got to be careful.
To the body goes Cunningham. Good refereeing from Dave Needham. This is an active clinch,
and that,
staying active by that right hand of Cunningham.
That's exactly where Cunningham wants to be, inside, pushing his opponent around, using that weight, that size.
Right hand getting through from Faulkner. Rear right uppercut from Agi Faulkner. Right hook, counter left hook from Cunningham. Both heavyweights throwing big early stages of this fight, and down goes Rob Cunningham on the two right hands.
Very interesting right there, the way it's a very slow step down he took. See if he gets up. I don't think he's getting up. Wow.
The count of 10 and the win for Agi Faulkner. He's now 2-0 in BKFC.
It was a very strange way that Cunningham just went and took a knee very slowly. Something must have been rattling the brain up there or something, because he just really slowly took a step to sit down. Stayed there for a second, couldn't get back up.
As we saw, it wasn't one huge punch from Agi Faulkner. It was the accumulation of very big punches.
I mean, he just came in through a lot of hard shots. I was worried that if he didn't get the knockout, he was going to get tired, especially being a heavyweight. And throw those punches with great power, it just takes a lot out of you. But they landed good enough to make Cunningham take a knee.
A disappointment for Rob Cunningham, who entered 2-0 in BKFC. That is a quality win for Agi Faulkner, now 2-0 in BKFC.
One more little shot right there. Sean, there is no gloves, obviously, to block those punches. You can't put the hands up there and think it's going to do much to stop it. You got to use head movement, block a little farther out. You can't put the hand right by the head. You can tell Cunningham looked like his head's still a little hurt.
Smear of blood on the temple, left side of Cunningham's face. He's got additional on his left brow.
Was that good sportsmanship you talked about earlier, Sean?
Ladies and gentlemen, after 57 seconds of the very first round, we have a winner by the way of technical knockout in the blue corner, Agi Faulkner.
Good win for Faulkner. Came right after his opponent threw a lot of hard shots. Sean, he must have saw something in training that he knew could come out and jump on his opponent right away.
Interestingly ruled officially, and again, the ISKA is regulating this event as a TKO, but make no mistake, Cunningham taking the full 10 count after taking those big right hands from Agi Faulkner. In our opening bout of the evening, the winner by way of first round TKO, Agi Faulkner defeats Rob Cunningham.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
This is the best show in combat sports.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month. Saturday, November 2nd, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is live from the birthplace of Bare Knuckle, the UK, as we invade Newcastle. In the main event, the European Heavyweight Championship is up for grabs as the undefeated Agi Faulkner takes on the hard-hitting, no-nonsense David Oskar. In the co-main event, it's a war for the vacant UK Light Heavyweight title. Matty The Hammer Hodgson fights Conor Da Crook Cooke. Two fighters hungry for the gold. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com.
We stay in the cruiserweight division for David Oskar versus Conor Cooke. The numbers presented by Grunt Style Apparel.
Huge reach advantage for Conor Cooke. 76 versus 68. I'm going to see if he uses that jab well and establishes that length.
From Northern Ireland, Conor Cooke. He's 3-0 overall in the sport of bare knuckle, 2-0 promotionally in BKFC. Cooke, 3-0 in pro boxing, and he's had 13 professional MMA bouts. Cooke's most recent fight in bare knuckle fighting championship, November of last year. Conor Cooke defeated Nathan Owens by third round TKO.
Yeah, we were in the same corner that night for this fight. He came back in his fight, didn't look like he hardly took any damage. He was just cool, calm, and collected, and got a good win on the side.
From Poland, now based here in England, David Oskar. Oskar is 3-1 in BKFC. Those 3 victories go back to July of last year. Oskar looked fantastic, defeating Matty Hill by way of first round TKO.
I believe this is the second Polish fighter of the night on here, and like I said earlier, they always have a big following, and they come out with flags and they show huge support for their guys.
This is a pivotal fight for both men. Again, Oskar 3-1 in BKFC, Cooke 2-0 in BKFC. Jared, it's great that the ethos of not trying to build and protect records from MMA has carried into BKFC, because that's certainly not the case in professional boxing. As much as I love boxing, there's a lot of record building. When would you ever see in pro boxing 2-0 versus 3-1? The answer is never.
You couldn't be more right. You see a lot of guys that we grow up thinking they're the best of everything, and you look back at the early fights and they're beating guys with 2 wins and 19 losses. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to happen in this sport.
Back we go to the machine.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is presented by Grunt Style Apparel, and this bout is in the BKFC Cruiserweight division. Now introducing your fighter in the red corner. This fighter weighed in at 203 pounds. He has a BKFC record of 2 wins with no losses. From Antrim, Northern Ireland, Conor Da Crook Cooke. And now welcome his opponent in the blue corner. This fighter weighed in at 204.4 pounds. He has a BKFC record of 3 wins and 1 loss. Representing Blackburn, England, David Oskar. And your referee for this bout, Andrew Glenn.
2 talented and accomplished cruiserweights. Both men up to scratch. Round number 1. Black trunks for the fighter from Poland, now based in England, David Oskar. White trunks, and eluding that left hook, the fighter from Northern Ireland, Conor Cooke. Big swings, overhand right, counter left hook lands from Cooke, but Oskar landing big and swinging big off that left hook.
Yeah, Oskar looks like he doesn't want this to go the distance, and he's just swinging for the fences early on.
Huge swings again from David Oskar. Cooke trying to stay tight off the back pedal, feigning with the right hand. 3 right hands in sequence from Oskar. And the overhook snatched by David Oskar, driven back against the ring ropes from Conor Cooke. There's the separation from Andrew Glenn. To the center circle. See the feint double jab from Cooke. 1:10 remaining, round number 1. Hook jab getting through.
That's exactly what Cooke needs to do, is stay on that jab for a little bit, let Oskar spend some of that nervous energy, and then he can start picking him apart.
On the clinch, inactive clinch is ruled by Andrew Glenn. Right back to it with 55 seconds remaining, round number 1. Double leaping left hooks from David Oskar. Cooke trying to stay long on the outside. More huge swings from Oskar. That left hook getting through. To the inside, defensive clinch from Conor Cooke. And on the restart.
Oscar's lunging a ton with that lead hook, but when it lands big. So it's dangerous, but when it gets through, it can do some damage.
More leaping left hooks from David Oskar. See the defensive clinch from Conor Cooke. Smart on the inside. Left hook again. David Oskar is landing that leaping left hook.
Yeah, he's found a home for it. He's not throwing it from a real technical side, but if it lands consistently, I guess you don't really need to.
Covering up his Cooke. Right hand, left hand. We'll see how this is ruled by Andrew Glenn as that drops Conor Cooke. Ruled as a knockdown, and here's the count from Glenn.
Can't be saved by the bell enough.
The count of 10!
Wow.
And the win of his life for David Oskar.
That's huge for Oskar. His last fight was his first loss, and he had a good response to it.
Again, we are under the unified rules of bare knuckle fighting, and those rules state that it is the action of when the punch starts, not when it lands. So you can start the action of the punch before the bell sounds, and even if the bell sounds and then the punch lands, that is a legal blow determined as such by referee Andrew Glenn.
Yeah, that looked perfectly clean from where we were sitting.
Jared, as you mentioned, under these unified rules of bare knuckle fighting, you cannot be saved by the bell in any round. David Oskar was bombing, but he was bombing with accuracy to the knockout finish in round one.
Yeah, he's got some big old meat cleavers on him. You know, it didn't look like he was necessarily turning his punches over. I guess when your arms are that big, you still got power that goes through.
Conor Cooke, again, he entered 2-0 in BKFC, 3-0 overall in the sport of bare knuckle. David Oskar, all of his fights promotionally in bare knuckle fighting championship, now 4-1. That is a huge win for David Oskar. Great sportsmanship, great show of respect flowing in both directions. Cooke tried to stay clean, tried to stay on the outside off of the jab, but Oskar's so powerful, placing those hooks all the way to the knockout finish. We go to Ian the Machine Freeman.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes of the very first round, we have a winner by the way of knockout in the blue corner, David Oskar.
Huge performance for him. I know before his last fight, they were talking about if he got a couple more wins, he would be looking at 205 title contingent himself. So he might have just catapulted himself right into it with a win over Cooke.
Class in victory for David Oskar, and class in that win. Huge hooks, huge power to the 4th win of his career. Victorious by way of first round KO on the last punch of the round, David Oskar defeats Conor Cooke.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
This is the best show in combat sports.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month. Saturday, November 2nd, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is live from the birthplace of Bare Knuckle, the UK, as we invade Newcastle. In the main event, the European Heavyweight Championship is up for grabs as the undefeated Agi Faulkner takes on the hard-hitting, no-nonsense David Oskar. In the co-main event, it's a war for the vacant UK Light Heavyweight title. Matty The Hammer Hodgson fights Conor Da Crook Cooke. 2 fighters hungry for the gold. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com.
Light heavyweights for you now. Our tale of the tape is presented by Rasha for Chaz Wasserman versus Matty Hodgson.
I think as far as tail of tape, this has been the closest match we had so far. Only a couple inch difference in reach. Everything else is pretty darn close.
Matty Hodgson, 1-0 in BKFC. The sport of bare knuckle, he has had 6 bouts. He has never gone the distance in any of those 6 bare knuckle bouts. Hodgson 1-0 in pro MMA. That victory by way of first round knockout.
I love hearing that. We know it's going to be an explosive fight.
Hodgson bare knuckle fighting championship debut occurred November of last year in Leeds when he defeated Mason Shaw by second round KO. The South African Chaz Wasserman enters 1-0 in BKFC. That fight March of last year when Wasserman defeated the Frenchman CHLINSKI by way of unanimous decision. Wasserman has also had 2 pro MMA bouts, 4 in professional boxing.
Yeah, I remember watching his debut fight last year, and it was interesting because nobody gave his opponent much of a chance, and Wasserman had dropped him multiple times in the first round, and everybody thought that was going to be it. But that guy got up and he pushed hard and he kept coming back, and it actually went the full 5 rounds. Obviously, Wasserman ended up getting the decision, which was fair. But it was just an interesting fight that changed completely from what you thought in the beginning.
No sporting touch of hands there as Wasserman circles the corner. It was a hard stare down from the Englishman Matty Hodgson. Back to the machine.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is presented by Russia. And this bout is in the light heavyweight division. Now please welcome your fighter in the red corner. He weighed in at 185.2 pounds. He has a BKFC record of 1 win and 2 losses. Representing Wakefield, England, please welcome Matty The Hammer Hodgson. And now welcome his opponent in the blue corner. This fighter weighed in at 185.4 pounds. He has a BKFC record of 1 win and no losses. From Johannesburg, South Africa, Chaz Wasserman. And your referee for this bout, Chris Batcheldor.
Round number 1. White trunks for the South African Chaz Wasserman. Blue and black trunks for the Englishman from Wakefield, Matty Hodgson.
These guys are both swinging big right off the bat.
Hard jab, then the 2. Into the clinch comes Matty Hodgson. There's the separation from referee Chris Batcheldor. And the downward 2, overhand right from Wasserman. Wasserman long on the jab. Hodgson now circling out. Taking the backward step, slight forward pressure from Chaz Wasserman. Hook jab from Hodgson. Jab to the body from Chaz Wasserman. Overhand right, big swings, counter right hand from Wasserman. Hodgson took that well, now into the clinch, right hands from Matty Hodgson. Separation from Batcheldor.
I think when Wasserman keeps him on the outside, he's having better success. And Hodgson seems to be doing better in the clinch.
The jab, 55 seconds remaining, round number 1. We're at 185 pounds. Wasserman trying to regain his equilibrium, regain his balance. Slight cut outside of Hodgson's left eye. Hodgson, big swings on the entry, overhand right. Couldn't land it, but used it into the clinch. Now right uppercut to the body from the South African Chaz Wasserman. Separation with some difficulty from Batcheldor. Right hand again from Hodgson. Overhand right. Jared Hodgson using those overhands well for the entry.
He is, and even when he gets inside, even though those short punches don't do much with impact, they can still cut you up.
Overhand right entry again from Matty Hodgson. Heavy in the clinch. Hodgson, you see the framing. Again, the separation with some difficulty from Chris Batcheldor, who's keeping this fight moving. Moving forward now, Hodgson. Hodgson, hard right hand, another right hand in the clinch. One more, and that ends round number 1.
That was a great opening round. Pretty close. But shoot, they both did a little damage there. I think Hodgson should stick with what he's doing. He's doing well with putting the pressure on him. You know, I mean, I think he, even though he's getting caught a little bit in the transition, I think overall he's landing a little more, a little heavier. That plays in big with the judges if it ever goes that far.
Seconds out cold, set for round number 2. This is our 8th bout of the evening, 11 in total. Still 3 title fights coming your way. And this is just our 2nd round number 2.
That's amazing.
Oh, knuckle up from Chris Batcheldor, round number 2 underway. Stiff jab from Wasserman. Hodgson took that very well, coming forward with the right hand. Counter right hand with his back against ropes from Wasserman, but now heavy in the clinch goes Matty Hodgson. Effective with the right hand. Reset from Wasserman. On the hook, duck under, overhand right. To the clinch again, this time initiated by Chaz Wasserman. Slight swelling under Hodgson's left eye. Hodgson trying to stay active in the clinch, left hand.
Wasserman's got a really good jab, but as soon as Hodgson slips it and gets his way in, he struggles a bit on the inside.
Wasserman trying to work off of that one, off of that jab. There's the downward 2 on the entry from Hodgson. That punch has been there for him thus far in this fight. Counter right hand. Uppercut from the half tie plum goes Hodgson. 60 seconds remaining round 2. Wasserman now cut under both eyes. Blood flowing freely from those 2 cuts. Wasserman on the jab, overhand right. From the half tie plum again goes the Englishman Matty Hodgson. 40 seconds remaining in the 2nd round. See the head movement forward from Hodgson. Long jab again from Wasserman.
I'd like to see Wasserman double up on that jab once in a while. Throws a lot of singles and makes it easy for him to move out of the way.
Last sequence, Wasserman landed the left hook on the exit. There's the jab once more from Chaz Wasserman. Closing pressure from Hodgson. See the hand fighting. Both fighters in the orthodox stance.
Good for him.
Clever with the right hand from the rear right uppercut. Heavy over the neck. The bell. Next stop, round 3.
That was a good finish there for Hodgson. He framed him, got an uppercut, clean shot, round's over. Yeah, like I said, Wasserman, he's had a good jab and he's had a good straight right, but his problem is he only throws one at a time. He doesn't really bunch them together much. And even when he has landed his straight right, he leaves it out there too long. If he could recoil back, get ready to fire again, I think he has more success with it.
Confirmation, round 3 is upon us. This will be our first round 3 of the evening. Jab to start the third round from Chaz Wasserman. Stiff jab right back from Matty Hodgson. Jab again. Jared, you can see Wasserman trying to time that jab and timing the right hand is Matty Hodgson.
He did it perfect. He followed it right back in and hit him a three-piece combo.
Check left hook from Wasserman. That was clever. Hodgson off the jab.
Yeah, but a lot of total strikes here for Hodgson, 77 versus 45.
See the inside hand fighting. And there's that hook jab to the body from Wasserman. Didn't fully land. Hook jab to the head from Hodgson, not getting through. 1:10 remaining, round 3. Big overhand right from Hodgson. From the half tie plum. On the overhook from Hodgson. Return from Wasserman. Chris Batcheldor continuing to keep this fight moving. Big swings from Wasserman. Resets. And the jab through the center circle comes Hodgson. Right uppercut. You see the creativity in that combination from Hodgson. Strong sequence now from Matty Hodgson. Overhook from Wasserman, and now Wasserman takes the knee. Delayed reaction.
That was probably a smart move. You could tell he hurt him with that combination there.
Wasserman shaking his head no as referee Chris Batcheldor counts. The count of 10. And Matty Hodgson now 2-0 in BKFC.
Huge upset for Haas, man. He kept walking his guy down, cutting off the ring. Not everything he threw was pretty, but he was landing a lot of good shots.
7 fights now in the sport of bare knuckle from Matty Hodgson. He has never gone the distance.
Yeah, I'm sure Wasserman's a little disappointed right now, but first loss, he can go and make some adjustments, watch the tape, and come back stronger.
Oftentimes, in BKFC, a fight ends on a dramatic punch. Sometimes it ends on almost a delay. That's the case here, Jared.
That was beautiful. He tagged him from the outside a few times. When he tried to get close and rest, he got him with the clinch and just went straight up.
Bucked Up Energy Drink brings you our final strike stats for this light heavyweight bout.
Way more attempts there for Hodgson, and he was landing more overall. You could tell by the damage on Watson's face. Clinch, that's night and day. At this point, it looked like Hodgson was the only one that was even attempting to use the clinch, and it worked really well for him.
Chaz Wasserman in the clinch was taking shots. He had the overhook. He then stepped back, took the knee. He was shaking his head no to referee Chris Batcheldor. As Batcheldor counted, Batcheldor reached 10. Matty Hodgson just keeps on rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute, 38 seconds of the third round, we have a winner by the way of technical knockout in the red corner, Matty The Hammer Hodgson.
3 rounds for Hodgson, and he's going home with a minute 36-second knockout. He's going to be a happy man.
Two talented fighters, both entered 1-0 in BKFC. Both landed shots, but heavy, consistent shots, especially in the clinch from Matty Hodgson, all the way through to the win. Victorious by way of round 3 knockout, Matty Hodgson defeats Chaz Wasserman.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
This is the best show in combat sports.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month. Saturday, November 2nd, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is live from the birthplace of Bare Knuckle, the UK, as we invade Newcastle. In the main event, the European Heavyweight Championship is up for grabs as the undefeated Agi Faulkner takes on the hard-hitting, no-nonsense David Oskar. In the co-main event, it's a war for the vacant UK Light Heavyweight title. Matty The Hammer Hodgson fights Conor Da Crook Cooke. Two fighters hungry for the gold. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com.
Feature fight time. Our tale of the tape is presented by Forged Irish Stout for this cruiserweight bout. Conor Cooke versus Mason Shaw.
And you can see, Sean, a significant 3-inch height advantage, but also a 5-inch reach advantage for Cooke. In addition to that, he's about 5 pounds heavier than his opponent.
The Englishman from Bridgewater, Mason Shaw, now set for fight number 3 in BKFC. His promotional debut came March of last year when Shaw defeated Lee Brown by unanimous decision. Overall, for Mason Shaw, this is his 14th bare knuckle bout. He's also had 1 pro MMA fight.
Well, that is a ton of bare knuckle experience. I'm not sure we have too many people who've had 14 bare knuckle fights. Let's see what that means in this fight. If he's able to be relaxed, if he's able to control the ring, what he's learned from the sport.
Draped in the Irish flag, the fighter from Antrim, Northern Ireland, Conor Cooke. Cooke is 2-1 in BKFC, 3-1 overall in the sport of bare knuckle. He's 3-0 in pro boxing, and Conor Cooke has had 13 pro MMA bouts. Cooke's most recent victory in BKFC November of last year when he defeated Nathan Owens by 3rd-round technical knockout.
So he doesn't have quite as many bare knuckle fights, but that's a considerable amount. This is his 5th bare knuckle fight and just a lot of MMA experience. So overall, making this ring walk about the same number of times as his opponent, maybe a little bit more. So this could be a very interesting fight, very competitive.
These are 2 very talented, very skillful, very pedigreed bare knuckle fighters. Into the ring comes Conor Cooke.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next fight of the night is scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the cruiserweight division. Presented to you by Forged Irish Stout. Not here to take part, here to take over. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. Tonight he wears white and gold. He stands at even 6 feet tall. His official weight, at even 195 pounds. He is a true bare knuckle fighting veteran at 14 fights. Fighting out of Bridgewater, England, here is Mason "Smiley" Shaw. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight he wears white. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall. His official weight, 200.4 pounds. His BKFC record stands at 2 victories opposite a single defeat. Fighting out of Antrim, Northern Ireland, here is Conor Da Crook Cooke. And our referee in charge of the action, Harvey Hara.
Round number 1. White trunks for the fighter from Northern Ireland, Conor Cooke. White and gold trunks for the fighter from here in England, Mason Shaw. Double left hand from Shaw. Forward is Conor Cooke. Higher, tighter striking guard for Shaw on the back pedal. You see the slight forward pressure from Cooke. Staying at range, Double jab from Shaw, not there. Already Chris, Conor Cooke very active with that lead left hand.
As he should be. He has the reach. We talk about it many times. It's only reach advantage if you use it for an advantage.
Not just the jabs thus far with Cooke, it's the diversion. Just keeping the lead left hand from orthodox stance extended into the face of Mason Shaw.
He's making Shaw leap forward as he's trying to throw punches.
Shaw's now cut under his left eye, misses with that right hand. There's the feint with the left from Conor Cooke. Shaw again on the back pedal. Double jab, no entry though for Shaw. Rear right hand for Conor Cooke. Straight right hand on the 1-2 from Cooke. Cooke, excellent head movement, right hand, and there is the knockdown.
Just set it up the entire time, throwing that jab, waiting for the right time to throw that too. Well, Shaw's hurt.
The count of 10, and just like that, victory in round number 1 for Conor Cooke.
And Cooke must have thunder in those hands because it didn't look like it landed that clean. It looked like it was going to be a flash knockdown, but no, that was it. That's all she wrote. Shaw felt something he did not like in that exchange, went down and didn't get up.
A powerful and precise right hand from Conor Cooke finishes the very talented Mason Shaw here in the opening round.
And let's have another look. Setting it up with the jab. Man, like I said, sometimes people are just heavy-handed. They have power. Didn't appear to be a punch that would do that much damage. You hit somebody in the right spot, that's all she wrote.
Conor Cooke now 3-1 in BKFC, 4-1 overall in the sport of bare knuckle.
You get hit right behind the ear. No equilibrium. You can't figure out what's going on. All you realize is you're on the ground. What just happened? And if you have to ask what happened, did I win? The answer is always no, Sean.
That is well said, Chris. With the flag of Ireland, Conor Cooke. A quality win for Cooke against a quality opponent in Mason Shaw. Clear disappointment for Mason Shaw as he's receiving the medical assessment. Now sitting down on his stool.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Agi reaches the count of 10 and 1 minute 34 seconds into round number 1 for your winner by KO, Conor Da Crook Cooke.
Huge victory for Cooke. Not only showed a lot of poise and precision, but also great power with that right hand.
Impressive from Conor Cooke. The precision, the patience, and the power. In our feature fight, the winner by way of first round KO, Conor Cooke defeats Mason Shaw.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
This is the best show in combat sports.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month. Saturday, November 2nd, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is live from the birthplace of Bare Knuckle, the UK, as we invade Newcastle. In the main event, the European Heavyweight Championship is up for grabs as the undefeated Agi Faulkner takes on the hard-hitting, no-nonsense David Oskar. In the co-main event, it's a war for the vacant UK Light Heavyweight title. Matty The Hammer Hodgson fights Conor Da Crook Cooke. Two fighters hungry for the gold. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com.
Lewis Keane versus Zdenek Pernica. The numbers presented by Crescent Tools.
And Sean, once again, the theme of the night, very similar in all aspects. Height the same, reach the same, fist size almost the same. Very difficult to pick a winner. If you're looking at tail of the tape, everything's very even here.
Chris, hearing walkout music like this takes me back to my days of commentating with Ian the Machine Freeman and M1 Global throughout Russia and Eastern Europe.
That's exactly what I thought of when I was listening to this song. It's like, wow, definitely sounds very Russian, Eastern Bloc, whatever you want to say.
From here in Newcastle, England, Lewis Keane. He's 2-0 overall in the sport of bare knuckle, 1-0 promotionally in BKFC. Keane made his bare knuckle fighting championship debut in November of last year. He defeated Louis Sheriff by third round TKO.
Well, 2 bare knuckle fights, but one of them in our promotion. That should help him a little bit. Understanding clinch work, understanding being closer away from the line, that this 2-minute rounds, it's a good thing. He has had that experience, and we've talked about that, Sean. It might help, it might not. We'll have to see. Yeah, Bruni is a question mark, because we're not sure what we're going to get from him, but I'm really excited to have a guy from the Czech Republic over there.
Big ovation for Lewis Keane as he enters the ring here in his home city, Newcastle.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is presented by Lions, not Sheep Apparel, and this is in the BKFC welterweight division. Now let me introduce your fighter in the red corner. This fighter weighed in at 159 pound even, representing Brno from the Czech Republic, Zdeněk Pernica. And now welcome his opponent in the blue corner. This fighter weighed in at 156.2 pound, representing Newcastle, UK, Lewis the Machine Keane. And your referee for this bout, Alan Jackson.
To the business end of our card, this is our feature fight. Up next, it's our co-main, then our main event. This very intriguing in the lightweight division. The fighters looking very eager to come up to scratch. Round number 1. Red and black trunks for the Englishman, Lewis Keane. Black trunks for the fighter from the Czech Republic, Zdeněk Pernica. Explosion to the inside, counter left hook, right hand explosion, right back on the inside from Zdeněk Pernica. Into the clinch.
Just like these guys were so excited to get to the line, that they're coming out there fighting the exact same way, just raring to go.
There's a very high, tight striking guard for Keane coming forward. Looking to counter is Pernica. Leads off the jab. 1-2 with emphasis for Keane. Keane again exploding to the inside. You see the head movement response for Pernica. Pernica right hand, left hand. There's the left hook from Keane. On the overhook now snatched by Lewis Keane into the clinch. Separation from Alan Jackson, right back to it. 1 minute gone, round number 1. Hook doesn't get through from Zdeněk Pernica. Stabbing left to the body from Lewis Keane. Pernica snatches that overhook, gets the break. Soft warning to Pernica from Alan Jackson, talking to him about the inactive clinch. In essence, Jackson telling Zdeněk Pernica, don't clinch defensively, clinch offensively.
And utilize that clinch, get in there, pull the head down, throw punches, don't just clinch and hold on.
Both fighters keeping a high, tight striking guard. Sharpshooter straight punches from Keane just off the mark. Good pull from Pernica. Pernica feigning with the right hand. There's the jab from Keane from the southpaw stance. Here's the 10-second clock. Final stages, round number 1. Good pace to this round. Louis Keane versus Zdeněk Pernica. On the separation, there is the bell. We move to round 2. Round number 2 underway. See the wide stance of Keane coming forward.
Like more of the same so far. Keane definitely staying right in his opponent's face, deciding when the fight's going to happen, waiting for the counters of Pernica.
Continual movement, bouncing the step of Keane to the body. Pernica trying to go to the body with the naked right hand. Non-stop movement from Louis Keane. See Pernica, by design, as a counterpuncher, trying to land that rear right hand, being much more stationary.
Very difficult to be a counter fighter sometimes in bare knuckle. You have to be very precise and land those shots when you get the opportunity, but you have to defend well too.
Smartly closing the distance again, Louis Keane. And there's the naked 2 being thrown by Pernica. Pernica continually crisp, bypassing the jab just to throw that rear right hand on the counter. To the clinch, left hand, overhand right just misses from Keane. Keane bouncing in the center circle. On the feint. 50 seconds remaining, round 2. Entry on the left hook, didn't get through. Definitely blocked by Zdeněk Pernica. The slip correctly as such by Alan Jackson, right back to it. And just losing his balance on the turn. Side headlock, that draws the immediate break from Alan Jackson. Pushing to the inside again, left hand. Pernica throws up his hands to say that didn't land.
Didn't land, but a lot of good punches being thrown in there.
15 seconds remaining, round 2. Keane trying to lead, Pernica trying to counter. That's the story through the opening 4 minutes. There is the bell, we move to round 3.
And I will say, Pernica is showing a very good guard, very good defense. He's blocking well, which is difficult to do in bare knuckle, but he's keeping the hands in a position. You can tell he's done his homework. You can tell he's trained for this because he's blocking very well. Look at that. That's just a good example right there. Keane's doing a great job of leading the dance, throwing these hard shots. You have to land in the like right in here, in the mix. As you're continuing to throw, you have to throw combinations because you're not going to land one good shot against Pernica. He's doing a good job of blocking this. I will think he might need to be a little bit more offensive right now, land a few more counters because Louis Keane's doing a good job of moving the entire time. So he's not there for that counter. He's moving the entire time. I said countering is great, especially when your opponent throws a punch. You can block and come back with your own shot because their hands are probably not in position, but if they're moving the entire time, it makes it hard to be a counter fighter.
You just had a look at the slight abrasion, slight swelling under the left eye of Louis Keane as he comes forward off of scratch to start round number 3. Pernica taking himself against the ring ropes again. By design, you see the head movement. Zdeněk Pernica sitting back on that right hand.
Pernica doing a great job keeping those hands up. That's for that body shot.
Down goes Zdeněk Pernica on the left to the body.
Just what I was getting ready to say. If your hands are up that high, you got to throw the body, and he is in a lot of pain. I don't think he's getting up.
Count of 8.
Nope.
The count of 10. And the win with a devastating body shot for Louis Keane.
And that's what he figured out right there. His opponent was hard to hit upstairs. He was blocking very well. We just talked about that, Sean, but you have to take what the opponent gives you. He's giving you the body, take the body, especially in bare knuckle.
24-year-old Louis Keane now 2-0 in BKFC.
And you can see right there, hands up, nice and high and tight. Oh, that landed right in the perfect spot right there, right in the breadbasket. You get hit there with a bare knuckle. That's all she wrote.
Bucked Up Energy Drink brings you our final strike stats for this, our feature fight of the evening.
You can see Pernica had that have a great percentage right there, but that one shot, that's all it takes. You get hit right there, it's going to be difficult to keep going.
Beautiful straight left to the body. That is a one-punch knockout win to the body for Louis Keane.
And look at that 100% landing percentage for Keane, but it was just that one. He landed 10 body shots, but it was that one that did the damage right there.
Zdeněk Pernica, the fighter from the Czech Republic, did some very good things in this his BKFC debut. Showed really good movement, strong counters, high tight striking guard. But Keane, with that high tight striking guard of Pernica, saw the opening to the body. He seized it, straight to victory. We go back to Ian the Machine Freeman.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 32 seconds of the third round, we have a winner by the way of technical knockout, Lewis the Machine Keane.
And Keane just keeps rolling, Sean, getting better out there. You can just see his high fight IQ. He saw something that was not right, went after it, got the knockout.
You seen the celebration? Zdeněk Pernica, Mark throwing a punch to Keane's body, showing him that's what finished it. Pernica marked with the right hand, but you saw it was that gorgeous left hand for the win. Victorious by way of third round KO, Lewis Keane defeats Zdeněk Pernica.
Just 8 days ago, we witnessed history in Denver when Chris Camozzi claimed the cruiserweight crown. Tonight, the stakes remain high with 2 vacant titles on the line as 4 relentless warriors step into the squared circle looking to make history, all vying for glory, respect, and gold. Live from the birthplace of bare knuckle, inside Utilita Arena, Newcastle, the United Kingdom Light Heavyweight title and the BKFC European Heavyweight title are up for grabs. This is BKFC 68, and it starts right now.
Tonight, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship presented by Bucked Up Energy Drink is back in the United Kingdom, coming to you from Newcastle. It's BKFC 68, and we will open with 3 preliminary bouts, which you can watch live worldwide on our Freeview. Bout number 4 begins our main card from here in the north of England, and on this stacked main card, you will see 2 title fights. In our co-main event, Matty Hodgson versus Conor Cooke for the currently vacant BKFC UK 185-pound championship. And our main event, Agi Faulkner versus David Oskar for the inaugural BKFC European Heavyweight strap. Hey everyone, with Chris Lights Out Lytle, I'm Sean Wheelock. Chris, this is our 11th BKFC event in England, the ancestral home of bare knuckle fighting.
Hard to believe it's been 11, but we've had a lot of fights in England. The good thing is we have a lot of fighters on this card with BKFC experience. That's why this is the best card we've put on in the UK.
The BKFC app is truly the best value in all of combat sports. It costs just $7.99 per month. You can watch live BKFC events and also have access to our archives, which features over 1,000 BKFC bouts. Next Saturday night, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is back in the United States. We will be live on DAZN from Billings, Montana. November 23rd, our return to Los Angeles. December 6th, BKFC 69 and our Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship debut in Georgia. And we will conclude 2024 at Hard Rock Live in Hollywood, Florida. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship on DAZN. To watch BKFC on DAZN, you can scan the QR code on your screen now. Download the DAZN app and subscribe for just $12.99 per month. You can also go online to DAZN.com/BKFC. Chris, our main event for the inaugural BKFC European Heavyweight title, the Englishman Agi Faulkner versus the fighter from Poland, now based in England, David Oskar.
Both guys very heavy hitters, Sean. The main thing with this one is who can get their offense going first. They both have all right defense, but it's not about defense. It's about landing that big punch first. Whoever does that's probably going to win the fight.
Tonight's fight odds are presented by Kurgo, the official betting partner of BKFC.
Look at this, Sean. A lot of money to be made. I'm going to stick with the big guys, though. I love Carl Thompson. If this guy at a minus 218, I really like that bet.
BKFC uses the unified rules of bare knuckle fighting, which are being administered this evening by the ISKA. Punching in the active clinch is allowed. All kicks, knees, and elbows are illegal, as are all takedowns and submissions. We'll open this evening from here in Newcastle with a bout in the light heavyweight division. Danny MOIR versus Kyle REDFEARN. Our tale of the tape is presented by OnlyFans.
And MOIR not only with a 3-inch height advantage, but a significant 6-inch reach advantage. He wants to stay long, stay outside, and make his opponent pay for trying to get close.
This is the BKFC debut for Kyle REDFEARN. REDFEARN, a very experienced professional combat sports athlete. He's had 16 pro MMA bouts. REDFEARN 8-1 in pro boxing.
I mean, Sean, he's got it all. He's got boxing, he's got MMA. That shows he should be well versed on being inside, being in the clinch, being outside. A lot of times it takes people a little bit of time to adjust to the bare knuckle style. Usually I say somewhere between 1 to 3 rounds. We'll see how long it takes Redfearn to try and get used to this style. A lot of people do it pretty quickly. We shall see.
BKFC in the United Kingdom has proved to be a showcase for fighters not just from Britain and Ireland, but from across Europe. We will see that play out again tonight here in Newcastle.
We said earlier, I do love the fact we have a lot of fighters with BKFC experience. It's getting better and better. Truly, I feel like this is one of our better cards we've put on in England. Can't wait for it.
Danny Moir now set for fight number 2 in BKFC. Moir made his bare knuckle fighting championship debut this past June. He defeated John Ferguson by split decision. Overall, in the sport of bare knuckle, Moir enters 7-0.
And we talked about having different fight experience, boxing, MMA. The best thing you can have for bare knuckle is bare knuckle experience. Moir does have that. Let's see if that makes a difference. Is it going to be the overall fight experience of Redfearn, or is it going to be the bare knuckle experience of Moir that's going to carry him through this fight?
Into the ring comes Danny Moir. Englishman versus Englishman as we open BKFC 68, 185-pounders. To get our evening started, we send it into the ring with Cyrus Fees.
Good evening, Newcastle! Welcome to the Utilita Arena, and welcome to the baddest sport on planet Earth, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. This is BKFC 68 Newcastle, brought to you by Bucked Up Energy Drink, being seen live around the world on the BKFC app. And now, Newcastle, are you ready for your first fight of the night? Ladies and gentlemen, this is 5 2-minute rounds in the BKFC Light Heavyweight division, presented to you by OnlyFans. Introducing first the fighter on my right, standing in the red and white trunks. He stands 6 foot tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Tonight, he makes his BKFC debut. Fighting out of Ferry Hill, England, please welcome Kyle Redfearn. And now his opponent standing across the ring and fighting out of the white with gold trim trunks. He stands 6 foot 3 inches tall, weighing in at 185.8 pounds. His record, undefeated, 2 wins and 0 defeats. Fighting out of Scarborough, England, please welcome Danny the Destroyer Moir. Your referee when the action begins, Alan Jackson.
Alan Jackson bringing both fighters up to scratch. Moir and Redfearn toe the line. 3 feet apart, the bell, round number 1. White and gold trunks for Danny Moir, white and red trunks for Kyle Redfearn. On the jab, there's the entry into the clinch from Redfearn. Moir back to the outside, overhand right.
Ooh.
There's the left hand getting through.
Now that did some damage already. Moir's hurt.
Big swings, now the counters landed by Moir on the counter right back from Redfearn, and that's that drops Danny Moir.
And Moir, he is still hurt. He needs to start grabbing his opponent. Tie him up. He cannot continue to fight when he's hurt.
There's the mandatory 8 count given to Moir by referee Alan Jackson. You see Moir cut outside of his left brow, right back to it.
See, Moir's got to be careful.
Right uppercut lands from Moir on the underhook. Good turn from Moir.
I like what Moir did. He threw his opponent. He's got to show him right now he's not that hurt, even if he is.
Stiff jab from Moir. Redfearn walking through it. Jab of his own from Kyle Redfearn. To the inside. Redfearn tried to snatch the half-tie plum. Big left hand from Moir. Redfearn walking through that punch to the inside.
Ooh.
Resets, check left hook lands from Moir.
Both guys are cut now.
Stiff jab. 50 seconds remaining in a very entertaining round number 1. Into the clinch, there's a left hand, almost an overhook left and a downward right from Redfearn. Now the reset, you see Redfearn cut around his right eye. Redfearn to the body, on the clinch, the turn. Clever turn out from Moir. Right back to it from referee Alan Jackson. On the left hook entry from Kyle Redfearn. Redfearn on the jab. Left hook, left uppercut, just missing from Moir.
And Moir definitely using that bare knuckle experience at this point to keep this fight where it is.
Stiff jab again from Moir. Hard right hand from Redfearn in return. Redfearn on the left hook. Both fighters swinging big, landing big here in round number 1. Final seconds of the opening round. The jab again from Moir. Redfearn walking through the center circle. The bell at the end of the opening round.
And Sean, I do give a lot of credit to Moir for having that bare knuckle experience that led him to be able to make it through that round. He was hurt early and he just stood in the pocket and traded punches. Very dangerous. And here's early, a couple of those hard shots that led to the damage. And there's Moir, that right hand that led to Moir getting knocked down. He was hurt already before that. Looked like he almost touched the ground. He did a good job of staying up, but it looked like we have a cut over both eyes of Redfearn. And this is a little bit of that inexperience, in my opinion. Sean, he had his opponent hurt, and he just wanted to go in there and go for the finish, and he got himself caught a couple of times and got cut. He had him hurt. He needs to really pick his shot, wait for the right time, unload one powerful shot to do the damage. You can't just go in and start trading punches. You're going to get cut.
One knockdown in round number 1. Redfearn dropping Moir. With the Moir off the canvas, landing effective shots. Both fighters cut in round number 1. The start of round number 2. Stiff jab on the entry from Redfearn.
And Moir just having his hands down. I don't know if he's inviting his opponent to come in so he can counter, or if he just doesn't keep his hands up.
Long jab from Moir. 6'3" to Redfearn, 6 foot even. You can see clearly, Chris, Redfearn wants the mid-range to the inside. Moir trying to stay at range with that long jab and that lead left hook from ortho.
But you can tell when Redfearn lands punches, it is harder. It does more damage to Moir.
There's a big left hand, right hand, hard right hand from Kyle Redfearn. 120 remaining round number 2. Full tie plum grabbed by Moir. We fight on from referee Alan Jackson. Right hand from Redfearn. There's that long flick jab again from range for Danny Moir. Right uppercut from Moir. Redfearn continues to walk through big punches. Moir continues to throw that jab. Swing and a miss with the right hand from Redfearn. Resetting. 55 seconds remaining round 2.
Moir's hands are just so low.
Redfearn again off the jab into the clinch.
But I do like the head movement we're seeing from Moir. Avoided punches. He has to throw back immediately after he avoids that shot.
There's a big right hand, another right hand from Redfearn. Now the right uppercut from Moir. Both fighters showing accuracy and showing creativity in their punches. Blood all around the right eye of Kyle Redfearn. He's also cut above his left brow. And as you see, Moir is cut outside of his left brow. Overhand right again from Redfearn. Rear right uppercut again from Moir. Moir continues to swing audaciously with that rear right uppercut, and now time called by Alan Jackson. This is a medical timeout, and it will be the assessment of Redfearn's right eye.
That is bleeding. Every time he gets hit, it feels like it just does more and more damage.
This fight is over. Off the canvas to victory for Danny MOIR. He's now 2-0 in BKFC.
And it wasn't just a cut, it was a swelling of that eye. I think they felt like referee couldn't see what was coming any longer. That's why they stopped the fight, I believe.
It looked as though Redfern's left eye was almost completely closed.
It was his right eye, was it not, Sean?
On the right eye, the cut also over the left eye, but the right eye absolutely, Chris, is what stops this light heavyweight fight.
And very unfortunate because Redfern was doing very well in my opinion. We talked about sometimes it takes a round or two to figure this out. He jumped on it right away, threw hard punches. Only thing was it took him a little bit to figure out you can't trade punches here. When you're getting the better of the guy, you have to wait for the right time, come in and out. He just stood in front of his opponent and trade, which made for a lot of fun for us to watch, but I think it led to him getting cut open.
Smile on the face of Danny MOIR, 2-0 promotionally in BKFC, now 8-0 in the sport of bare knuckle, not without adversity. MOIR dropped by Kyle Redfern in round number 1. Credit to Kyle Redfern in this, not just his BKFC debut, his debut in the sport of bare knuckle. Veteran of 16 pro MMA fights, 9 in pro boxing. A strong opening round, and then credit to Danny MOIR off the canvas, working the jab, working the rear right uppercut, continuing to land punches, closing the eye, and that's the fight.
You can see there, that's why they closed it, that eye. Very nearly all the way closed. And look at good percentage for both fighters, almost even. A few more punches thrown and landed for Redfern, but it doesn't really matter where you're throwing punches, where they're landing, the accuracy, and the accuracy right on that eye of Redfern that did the damage.
Our strike stats presented by Bucked Up Energy Drink. We send it to Cyrus Fees.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Alan Jackson stops his fight at 1 minute 51 seconds of round number 2. Your winner by TKO due to doctor's stoppage and still undefeated, Danny the Destroyer MOIR.
A very good victory for MOIR. He learned a lot, I'm sure, in that bout, getting up off the canvas, dealt with adversity early, came back to win the fight.
Both fighters having their moments, both showing punching power, accuracy, and creativity throughout. MOIR off the canvas. Redfern, a cut above his left eye, a cut around his right eye, and his right eye completely closed. That's the physician stoppage. That is the end of the fight. Victorious by way of second round TKO due to physician stoppage, Danny MOIR defeats Kyle Redfern.
All these UFC stars are looking kind of a little funny in my division.
Jimmy Rivera.
Hand right, left hand on the counter from Rivera. Kai Stewart's running. You don't want to take that belt.
Jimmy Rivera, Kai Stewart for that featherweight champion.
We are all the way live from Satellite 5. I'm Brian Socha, and as always, so much to get into this week on the Bare Knuckle Show. We're glad you're hanging out.
Bare Knuckle just takes one shot. If he can land a good shot, he can do some damage.
6 new major signings, a new location overseas that we're going to be doing.
It gives me so much more energy and reason to go ahead and do what I do.
Oh, shit!
Oh, shit!
That's inappropriate.
Heavyweights for you now. The numbers presented by Forged Irish Stout for Matty Hill versus Lee Brown.
The big fella's a 3-inch height advantage and 3-inch reach advantage for Lee Brown. He wants to utilize that to stay outside against a heavy-hitting Matty Hill.
East West Coast. You know, motherfuckers. Same thing. Come on! You know niggas can tame. Say they're your friend, they wanna shoot out your brain. Come on! We
Lee Brown now set for bout number 6 in BKFC, his 8th overall in the sport of bare knuckle fighting. Brown's bare knuckle fighting championship debut came November 2022 when he defeated Billy Hawthorne by 2nd round TKO.
And Sean, that is a lot of experience for bare knuckle. Lee Brown does what he does best, and stay long, stay outside, land straight, hard, clean shots. He's going to want to utilize that in this fight, use that reach advantage, stay outside, pepper his opponent. Don't get in a firefight, there's no need for it, but sometimes he likes to do that. He likes to get in there and mix it up a little too much.
Phenomenal atmosphere, very knowledgeable fight and sporting crowd here in Newcastle upon Tyne in the north of England. They love football, soccer, Newcastle United, and they definitely love BKFC.
One of the two, they like both of the global sports, Sean. I would say fighting and soccer, the only two global sports.
Matty Hill now set for fight number 2 in BKFC. Chris, with this, our 11th bare knuckle fighting championship event in England. We're seeing fighters now with multiple bare knuckle fighting championship experience, as well as bare knuckle experience in additional promotions.
And that's what's making this so much more exciting for me, Sean. When I'm watching this, when I looked at this card before we had it, I said, oh, this is going to be a great fight. Oh, this is going to be a great fight. This guy's 3-0, this guy's 3-1. Just really higher level fights that I think we've had in the past, because we've had more guys from this area fighting with BKFC. These two guys are lighter for the heavyweight division, but sometimes that just means they're faster, more accurate. Sometimes I prefer speed and accuracy over size and power.
Back to the ring, and Cyrus feeds.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your next bout, 5 2-minute rounds in the BKFC Heavyweight Division. Brought to you by Forged Irish Stout, the world's creamiest stout. Introducing first the fighter on my right in the blue and white trunks. He stands 6 foot 5 inches tall, weighing in at 225.2 pounds. He's a veteran of 6 bare knuckle bouts, fighting out of Liverpool, England, Lee the Banger Brown. And that was opponent standing across the ring and fighting in the green and black trunks. He stands 6 foot 2 inches tall, weighing in at 223.4 pounds. He has a record of 0 wins and 1 defeat. Fighting out of Northallerton, England, introducing Matty Mad Dog Hill. The referee when the action begins, Harvey Hara.
Both fighters a bit too keen. Back to their respective corners by referee Harvey Hara. Now both men up to scratch. Round number 1. Black and gold trunks for the Englishman Matty Hill. Blue and white trunks for the Englishman Lee Brown. There's the jab from Hill. High, tight, very traditional bare knuckle striking guard for Matty Hill. Shades of the 1870s and 1880s, Chris. Very traditional.
Bringing it back.
Okay, with the rear right hand for Lee Brown. On the inside, good turn from Brown. Brown listed at 6'5", Hill listed at 6'2". Feint on the check hook. Now the jab, double jab. There's the entry and reply from Matty Hill.
I like what Hill did there. He grabbed the back of his opponent's head, moved him out of the way, stayed safe.
On the 1-2 from Brown. The counter quickly from Hill. Hill now on the check left in the right hand. Good turn again on the inside from Lee Brown. Quick separation from Harvey Hara, right back to it. 65 seconds remaining, round number 1 of this heavyweight bout. Overhand right from Matty Hill. Big left hand, another left hand from Hill. Defensive clinch initiated by Lee Brown.
Thought for a second Lee Brown looked like he might take a knee. Did a good job by grabbing and not taking it.
Brown on the postman's blow, clearing his nose, right back to it. And again, turning Matty Hill along the ropes. Good turn right back from Matty Hill. Overhand right from Hill. Chris Hill trying to sit on that overhand right from the mid-range.
Brown doing a good job of avoiding. I like to see Hill go to the body when his opponent's head is way down to the right.
There's that overhand right again. Guillotine position, gets the separation from Harvey Hara. Getting late here in round number 1. There's the overhand right again from Matty Hill. And Chancery that time gets the separation from Harvey Hara and a soft warning to Hill. High shoulder blocking from Lee Brown, but still the left hand getting through from Hill.
I mean, Philly shell's very dangerous to do in this sport.
That ends the opening round.
And Brown, I'm noticing the trend. He continues to use that Philly shell style, and he's rolling down to his right. Very dangerous. You don't have the gloves to protect yourself. Matty Hill can land that uppercut with the left hand. It's going to do so much damage. Brown's got to be careful.
Coming up in our co-main event, the fight for the currently vacant BKFC UK Light Heavyweight title. The fighter from Northern Ireland, Conor Cooke, making his way into our arena here in Newcastle, England. That exclusive look back of the house of Conor Cooke, presented by OnlyFans. Cooke will be facing the Englishman from Wakefield, England, Matty Hodgson. Again, that's our co-main coming up. Our preliminary card continues. Our Freeview Worldwide, BKFC 68 from the north of England. Round number 2, Matty Hill versus Lee Brown.
Brown's doing his best when he steps forward with that jab, double jabs. He needs to finish with that too. Make his opponent respect him. Hill's just walking through his punches at this point.
Double underhooks from Lee Brown. Defensive clinch gets the separation. Wide stance, heavy on the front foot for Lee Brown, working the jab. Left hook entry from Matty Hill. Again, Hill trying to time that overhand right from the mid-range. Very effective punch for Hill in round number 1. 80 seconds remaining round 2. There's that overhand right. It's not a dramatic overhand right, it's a short downward 2.
And he has to throw that the way Lee Brown is ducking that head, but he's ducking low. It's going to be hard to hit. He needs to come back with that uppercut with the left hand.
There's the uppercut with the right hand just off the mark from Hill. Double jab from Lee Brown. The second was a hook jab. Hook not getting through. That tight striking guard from Matty Hill. Overhand right again. More big shots to the inside. Uppercuts, and that drops Lee Brown.
And Lee Brown keeps putting his head in a position where he can't see punches coming. You cannot do that. He ducks his head down, he covers up, but you're going to get hit.
Brown took out his own mouthpiece, or gum shield as it's called in England. Takes it out again, never a good sign, but we will continue. 25 seconds remaining, round 2, and knockdown number 2.
He doesn't look like he wants any more.
The count of 10 reached, and victory number 1 in BKFC for Matty Hill.
And Matty Hill just did a great job of finding his range, waiting for the right time, continuing to throw that punch. That overhand right, as soon as he found a home for it, he knew it was going to land and do damage. And the way that Brown was moving his head and make it to where he couldn't see where the punch was coming from, it was just a matter of time.
Great sportsmanship from Matty Hill. Lee Brown tried to stay on the outside, use his reach and range advantage. Multiple jabs, but Hill, left hook entries, that short downward rear right hand, so effective all the way to victory.
I thought Lee Brown did a much better job that round of trying to utilize that double jab, keep his opponent back, but every time Hill got close, Lee put his head down, couldn't see where the punch was coming from. always have to keep your eyes on your opponent, and especially in bare knuckle.
The beginning of this fight, we talked about Matty Hill using that very traditional 19th century striking guard from the sport of bare knuckle in its first iteration. Talk about great English fighters. Matty Hill channeling Jem Mason that performance. Clinical, tactical, and powerful. And doing so against a very accomplished bare knuckle fighter in Lee Browne. Well done to Matty Hill, his first victory in BKFC. Here's Cyrus Fees.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Harvey Harris stops this fight at 1 minute 48 seconds of round 2. Your winner, getting his first victory in BKFC, Matty Mad Dog Hill.
And a great job from Matty Hill of fighting in his range, pushing forward, coming into where he wanted to be, and landing his shots.
Lee Browne was trying to stay long, trying to stay on the outside, use his jab, use long, straight punches. Matty Hill, though, so effective. Entries with the left hook, the overhand right, to the knockdown and the finish. The winner, by way of second round KO, Matty Hill defeats Lee Browne. Coming to you live from Newcastle, England, is presented by Bucked Up Energy Drink, OnlyFans, Grunt Style Apparel, and by Forged Irish Stout.
All these UFC stars are looking kind of a little funny in my division.
Jimmy Rivera.
Hand right, left hand on the counter from Rivera.
Kai Stewart's running. You don't want to take that belt.
Jimmy Rivera, Kai Stewart for that featherweight champion.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
This is the best show in combat sports.
It's always crazy.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month.
Bucked Up Energy Drink brings you our tale of the tape for this bout in the welterweight division. Paul Cook versus Luke Beamish.
Beamish with a 2-inch height advantage, 1-inch reach advantage. That's not very much for this weight class. Both guys very similar here for tale of the tape.
What you mean? Put bullets in your strap. I put something in the clip after they squeeze. Pull it back, let it clap. Then you fuck up with the flow, cause it slaps. Fuck the bats. You can go and you go. You got it tagged.
Luke Beamish enters 1-0 in BKFC. His bare knuckle fighting championship debut taking place this past June. Beamish defeated Will Rochester by unanimous decision.
So only one fight, however, 5 rounds. So good thing we talked about that before. Sometimes you come in there, you get an early first round knockout. You don't really get too much of a feel for what's going on with the bare knuckle, with the BKFC. He went 5 rounds. That should be plenty of time to get all the kinks worked out, figure out your range, and understand exactly what you need to work on in the gym. He's been able to do that.
Before bare knuckle fighting, Beamish was an amateur boxer in his native England, where he compiled a record of 4 victories, 1 defeat.
Definitely a different style than boxing. Hopefully he got a good feel and learned all about BKFC with his first fight.
Paul Cooke, 2-0 in BKFC. His most recent victory, November of last year, when Cooke defeated Luke Nevin by unanimous decision. Cooke has had 23 pro MMA bouts.
And that is a lot of experience, just not in BKFC, but overall combative sports. Making this walk over 20 times, the nerves settle out a lot easier for you the more you've done this type of a sport. So 2 fights in bare knuckle with the BKFC, a lot of fight experience.
Once again, silence fees.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your next bout, 5 2-minute rounds in the BKFC welterweight division, presented by Bucked Up Energy Drink. Get bucked up. Introducing first the fighter on my right, fighting in the black trunks. He stands 6 foot tall, weighing in at 161.6 pounds. His record, 1 win and 0 defeats. Fighting out of Birkenhead, England, Luke the Nightmare Beamish. And now his opponent standing across the ring and fighting in the black trunks. He stands 5 foot 10 inches tall, weighing in at 161.2 pounds. His record, 2 wins, 0 defeats. Fighting out of Hebburn, England, introducing Paul Cooke. Your referee when the action begins, Chris Batcheldor.
Two talented English fighters in the welterweight division. 2-0 Paul Cooke versus 1-0 Luke Beamish. Chris Batcheldor bringing both men up to scratch. Round number 1. Black trunks, red hand wraps for Luke Beamish. Black trunks, blue hand wraps for Paul Cooke. Heavy to the body on the inside. Shades of Fry versus Takayama. Both men in the half tie plunge. And down goes Luke Beamish, ruled as a slip immediately by Chris Batcheldor.
I thought he got knocked down and didn't see it.
Beamish cut, corner of his left eye. Look to the inside, right back out. Beamish long on the jab through the center circle. Beamish, you see, extending with the lead left hand from Ortho. And the orthodox stance heavy on the entry for Cooke. Big swings again from both men on the inside. 1:15 remaining round 1.
I like when they're getting into the clinch. These guys are not holding, they're trying to do damage.
Bit of creativity. The roll under, the right hook from Paul Cooke. There's the rear right uppercut from Luke Beamish. Again, Beamish coming out of amateur boxing, Cooke out of pro MMA, and you see a real contrast immediately in the two striking styles, Chris.
And you can just see the way Beamish seems very smooth, very fluid, but just a different style of fighting. And Paul Cooke gets in his face and starts throwing punches. It's just a little bit different.
Seeing longer, straighter punches to this point in the fight from Beamish, and more of that. Explosive hooks forward from Paul Cooke. There's a right hand from Cooke and the counter right from Beamish. 30 seconds remaining round 1. Off the jab, left hook not through from Cooke in reply. Right hand again, a 2-1, a left hand and a right hand.
You just see great footwork for Beamish. He looks very smooth, very slick out there, but it's that awkward style, and those punches are landing for Cooke very well.
To the clinch, right uppercut, left hook from Beamish on the exit. Cooke effective on the entries, Beamish effective on the exits. Overhand right, left hand, that's a straight right hand that lands just before the bell from Paul Cooke. That ends round number 1.
And that was a very good first round, very entertaining. Both guys doing what they do best, and it's making for a good fight because they're both having good success offensively. And this is one of those fights where you don't even really have to tell what the other guy should do better because they're both doing exactly what they want to do, and it's working. So it's hard to adjust to that defensive style. Beamish is not used to seeing punches come at him from this angle. Cooke is not used to having a straight boxer. It's going to be hard to adjust to that. They just have to really focus on what they're doing offensively, make that work. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense.
The matter of the stool being cleared out of Beamish's red corner. Good refereeing from Chris Batcheldor. Now the start of round number 2. There's the right hand. It was the naked 2 from Beamish. Now off the jab. Big right hand from Beamish. Cooke resetting in the center circle, coming forward. Cooke again looking hard for the entry.
I feel like Cooke is at his best when he's coming forward.
See the framing on the inside from Beamish. Beamish getting this fight back to range and back to the jab. Short left hook, hard right hand from Cooke on the inside. Left hand again from Beamish on the exit. Chris, to this point, it's really about the entries of Paul Cooke and the exits of Luke Beamish. Both fighters having their moments in each area.
You can just see the contrasting style, that MMA style with that leaping in left hand, just like right there you saw from Cooke.
Short left hand. 60 seconds remaining in round 2. We're 165 pounds. Beamish pulling back the right hand after the jab. Very tactical fight to this point. Both fighters making their respective fighting style, striking style work for them. Entry left uppercut from Beamish. Beamish on the hook jab. Cooke measuring with the jab. Call for action from referee Chris Batcheldor. Swing and a miss with the left hook from Cooke. 1-2 from Beamish. 20 seconds remaining in round number 2.
And once again, just good job by entering for Cooke.
Apologies to you watching live worldwide. Transmission issues, but we fight on from Newcastle. Very late here in round number 2. There's the left hand from Paul Cooke. Step in jab from Luke Beamish. Next stop, round 3.
And with Cooke, that is one of his more technically good punches that he's thrown, is that leading left hook. He'll throw a couple punches in with this wide left hook that's not normal for a boxer. That's why it's landing so effective. Beamish is not used to seeing that left hand come from that angle. It's very awkward. Takes a while to get used to.
Still to come, it is our main card. We're in Newcastle, England, BKFC 68, and this stacked card culminates with 2 title fights and our co-main event. Matty Hodgson versus Conor Cooke for the currently vacant BKFC UK 185-pound title, and our main event for the inaugural BKFC European Heavyweight title. The Englishman Agi Faulkner versus the Pole David Oskar. We start round number 3. Paul Cooke versus Luke Beamish. Step in with the right uppercut. There's the left hook from Paul Cooke.
And that's where Cooke does a good job. When Beamish comes in, he waits for his time to throw that left hook and lands it.
See the bounce in the step of Beamish on the outside. Hard left hook entry again from Cooke. Straight 1-2 from Beamish coming forward.
In traditional boxing, I feel like it's usually the 1-2 and then followed by the 3. And I feel like that's what Beamish is waiting for. It's not happening like that. It's a lead left hook. It's a counter left hook. You're not used to that in boxing as much.
80 seconds remaining, round 3. Overhand left from Cooke. Again, we're seeing this play out. Effectiveness from both men. Longer, straighter punches for Luke Beamish. Effective wide punches, overhands from Paul Cooke.
But you have to find what's working and continue to go to it. That's what Cooke's been able to do. He finds this overhand left, this left hook, landing. So keep going to it. Make him stop it.
There was the overhand left from Cooke. Did not fully get through. Beamish pulling back the right hand. There's the up jab from Beamish from the orthodox stance. Left hand from Cooke from the ortho stance. 45 seconds remaining, round 3. Short right hand from Beamish on the open-chested turn. Again, Cooke trying to work in, out continually. Into the clinch, right back to it.
Once again, I like when these guys are in the clinch, they're not holding, they're not waiting, they're throwing punches and getting right back out.
Cooke resetting on the outside. Lower, deeper stance for Beamish. Overhand left. Cooke pulling that back mid-flight. Closing stages, round number 3. Very even to this point. Very well fought to this point. Paul Cooke versus Luke Beamish. There's the left hand from Cooke. And we move to round 4.
And that has definitely been the most effective punch for Paul Cooke, is that left hook. It's landed very, very clean, very many times. He's not putting a ton of power onto it because he doesn't need to. It's landing effectively. Keep going to it.
Again, we apologize to those of you watching live worldwide. This is our BKFC 68 Freeview. Transmission issues affecting both the audio and the video, but we do fight on from here in Newcastle. Chris, we're seeing fighters again multiple times now in BKFC. It's the rapid evolution of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. We're seeing it play out in the U.S. We're seeing that play out in the UK as well.
Sean, this is one of the cards that we have almost everybody on there's had BKFC experience. That's what I love. I've seen these guys fight before. I know where they're good, where they're not good. And it's more exciting when you understand the fighters. And I love this card. This is one of the best ones we've put on from the UK.
Round number 4. Slight delay, issue of some debris in the corner of Paul Cooke. Blue corner cleared. Now fully underway, and there's the right hand from the blue corner fighter, Paul Cooke. Left hand right back from the red corner fighter, Luke Beamish. Left hand from Cooke.
And just continue to be more of the same. These nice straight punches from Beamish, just landing very well, but then there's that left hook from Cooke.
Blood flowing now out of Beamish's right nostril. Straight punch, overhand right from Beamish. Did not get through. Deftly blocked by Cooke. Framing from Beamish to create space. Beamish again coming forward off the jab.
Beamish doing a good job of pushing the pace. He's trying to wear his opponent down. Let's see if that works. If Cooke slows down a little bit, it'll be big problems for him.
Hook to the body, hook to the head. Clever right hand, left hand. Overhand left from Cooke just off the mark. Straight punches again. Cooke tried to come to the inside, snatch the half tie plum, does so again. 55 seconds remaining, round 4. Naked 2 from Beamish. Now the 1-2 from Beamish, overhand left again from Cooke. This contrast in striking styles continues, Chris.
I'm just really surprised with all these left hooks being landed. Beamish's right eye isn't really bleeding.
There's the uppercut from Cooke on the inside. Overhand left again from Cooke. Straight left again from Beamish on the entry. Both fighters continually moving in and out, but as you see Cooke exploding in with overhands and hooks. Beamish methodically coming forward off of the jab, off of the naked 2, off of the 1-2s. Late here in round number 4. There's the jab from Beamish through the center circle. Cooke initiates that clinch as we move to the 5th final round.
And Sean, I think the favorite thing for me on this fight is they're not clinching and holding. Both guys, every time they get in, they're trying to do damage. They're landing punches, they're throwing, they're working them way out of the clinch. They're not waiting for the referee to break them up. That's how these fights are supposed to be. You get in, you can do damage, do it. Don't grab and hold on, do damage to your opponent. Both guys are trying to do that. We've seen, I feel like especially when we have fights in England, a lot of times they're not quite used to this MMA style of fighting, so they get in, they grab, they hold. Not this fight. It's been great.
Both fighters' faces relatively clean as we enter the 5th and final round of this welterweight bout.
And both guys have landed a lot of punches against each other. I'm surprised that there's not more damage. Maybe they got very tough skin, I'm not sure.
Got a call of knuckle up from referee Chris Batcheldor. 5th and final round underway. There's the right hand, another right hand from Beamish. Cooke with the half-tie plum. Cooke left hook. Straight 1-2 from Beamish. Beamish now cut under his left eye. Step in left hand again from Cooke.
So just because these guys' faces aren't cut open the entire time, that doesn't mean they're not fighting. Look at that, a lot more punches being landed for Beamish.
Right hand on the turn from Beamish after Cooke landed effectively.
I didn't realize it was so much in favor for Beamish.
Our strike stats are presented by Bucked Up Energy Drink. Left hand again from Cooke. That punch continues to be there for Paul Cooke. Right hand straight from Beamish. That punch continues to be there for Luke Beamish. Both fighters using what they feel is best for them. Wider punches, overhands for Cooks. The jab, straighter punches for Beamish. Both doing so very effectively. This is a very, very tight fight. 45 seconds remaining in this bout. Left hook from Cooke. This is the 2-1 from Beamish. Counter hook from Cooke. Beamish off the jab. Chested, explosive entry for Cooke. Left hook from Paul Cooke.
Man, just the story of this fight has been that left hook.
Deeper swelling now under Cooke's right eye. The cut under Beamish's left eye is opened up here in the 5th and final round. Short right hand from Beamish, short left hand from Cooke. Cooke on the right hand exit. Step forward jab from Beamish, right hand, left hand. Man. That is the end of a very competitive event.
And those guys just went to war the entire time. I was really surprised to see the numbers really heavily favoring Beamish. I found that to be a close fight.
Again, our judges scoring ringside here in Newcastle, England, is signed by the ISKA.
So it's not only the punches that you land, but it's the damage that each one of those punches does to the fight. And you can see it looked like a little bit more damage done to the face of Beamish. That doesn't mean necessarily Cooke won, but man, I'd say I would not be surprised with something like a split decision on this fight. But if you look at the numbers, it looked like it was heavily in favor of Beamish. Once again, wow! I cannot believe that many more punches were thrown for Beamish. 269 to 100, over 100 more punches were thrown by Beamish, and almost 30 more landed. See, almost all Beamish's punches, it seems like, were to the head. A lot more thrown, a lot more landed. But will that be enough? Is it the damage that that left hook of Cooke did? Can that make a difference?
Chris, in all striking combative sports, judges are trained not to count strikes, but to assess who is landing the cleaner, more effective strikes throughout the totality of the round. Definitely hard fought, well fought. For all 5 rounds for Paul Cooke and Luke Beamish. Slight delay, Chris, in the talent of the 3 ISKA judges' scorecards, which usually means one thing. A delay usually, not always, but usually means something other than a unanimous decision.
Fighters, come on in, please, guys. Come on in, gentlemen.
To end all suspense, here's Cyrus Fees.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 hard-fought rounds, the judges have rendered their decision. Judge Jackson scores this fight 48-47. Judge Crooks 49-46. And Judge Christie 48-47. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Luke the Nightmare Beamish.
And they love the volume it looked like for Beamish. Did a great job. Very tough and hard-fought battle. Luke Beamish looked very good.
A rare occurrence where a delay in the tallying of the judges' scorecards did indeed produce a unanimous decision. So 4 rounds to 1, 3 rounds to 2, 3 rounds to 2 from the 3 ISKA judges. Again, very competitive throughout. Both fighters continued to have their moments. Luke Beamish now 2-0 in BKFC. The winner by way of unanimous decision. Luke Beamish defeats Paul Cook.
I'm already the fucking champ, man. Period.
Sean, I'm telling you, there's just a difference when Faria hits you. And Christine B. Sands now 3-0 in BKFC.
We are all the way live from Satellite 5. I'm Brian Sosha, and as always, so much to get into this week on the Bare Knuckle Show. We're glad you're hanging out.
Bare Knuckle just takes one shot. If he can land a good shot, he can do some damage.
6 new major signings, a new location overseas that we're going to be doing.
It gives me so much more energy and reason to go ahead and do what I do.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
It's inappropriate.
In the bantamweight division, Robbie Brown versus Bradley Taylor. You see our tail of the tape. It is presented by Rasha.
Taylor with a 3-inch height advantage as well as a 2-inch reach advantage, but Robbie Brown with a 5-centimeter bigger fist. Let's see if that makes a difference.
Nobody likes me.